Hello, fifth graders. Welcome to lesson 5.2, renaming fractions. Let's get started. Today's objective is I can rename fractions greater than 1 as a mixed number and mixed numbers as fractions greater than 1 by using division and multiplication with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. Remember that the I can and by statement need to be typed in to your digital math notebook. Pause and do that now. Today's lesson has 2 vocabulary words. You have an example of this in your digital math notebooks and you are looking to fill in the blanks. On the left side here, we have an improper fraction. An improper fraction, or sometimes called a fraction greater than 1, we have a fraction in which the numerator, which is the top, is greater than the denominator, which is the bottom. An example of that would be 17 over 4. The top number is greater than the bottom number. In the next vocabulary word, we have the word mixed number. A mixed number is a number that is made up of a whole number and a fraction. An example of that would be 3 and 5/8. So an improper fraction has the top number greater than the bottom, and a mixed number has a whole number out front and a fraction as well. Pause now to type in the words that go in the missing blanks. All right, fifth graders, here's our example. Remember that this page has the I icon, so we are just watching Miss Lynch do math for a moment. Here is our first example. We are going to change the number 67/9 into a mixed number. We are going to do that with dividing. Remember when we said the first one goes inside and shuts the door? Well, that applies to fractions as well. 67 is going to go inside and shut the door, and 9 is going to go on the outside. Then we need to use our division skills to know how many times 9 goes into 67. It goes into 67 7 times, so the 7 goes on top. 9 times 7 is 63, and we subtract, we're left over with 4. So we wrote our division statement, we divided. Now we're going to write our whole number as the whole answer, and our leftover part, 4 out of 9. So the 4 goes on top, and the 9, which was our divisor and our original denominator, stays the same. So this number, written as a mixed number, would be 7 and 4/9. Let's look at the second example. In this example, we have thirds. So we have 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. So we're filling in all of these 1/3s. So if we look at all of these 1/3s, then we have 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. We have 1 from each of them, which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 thirds. Now, 8 thirds, we can draw 1/3 in each of the thirds, or I can group them into groups of 3. So 1, 2, 3 makes 3 over 3, which is 1. 1, 2, 3 makes 3 over 3, which is 1. And then I'm left over with 2 thirds. So I could call this 1 plus 2 thirds, which would give me 2 and 2 thirds. We could also take those thirds, and instead of putting 1 in each of them, I could fill them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which tells me that I have 2 wholes and 2 thirds left over. So we can divide or we can draw pictures. Let's keep going. All right, guys, this time we're going to make 7 4/9 into an improper fraction, or a fraction greater than 1. This is the reverse of what we just did on the previous page. You have this example in your digital math notebook, so make sure you fill it in as we go along. Here are our steps. It says S, M, A, K. Those are going to tell us what we're going to do. Our first step says start with the denominator. So our denominator is the number 9, right? The 9 is on the bottom, the 9 is the denominator. So we're going to, D is for denominator, we're going to multiply 9 times the whole number. So we're going to multiply these two numbers, 9 times 7, because we have 7 whole groups and each one has 9. 9 times 7 is 63. Now here I'm going to erase, and I'm going to use a different color, because now I'm going to, oh, I missed a step, that was multiply. Now my next one is I'm going to add. I'm going to add the numbers that I've circled in blue. The 63, which we just got from multiplying, and the 4 leftover parts that we had. So we're going to add 4, and that would give us back to 67 over, our denominator stays the same, 9. So we go back to our improper fraction. So that would be, we keep the same denominator. So we can think of this as we multiply times the bottom, 4 times 8. 4 times 8 gives me 32. Then I add to the top. So 4 times 8 gave me 32. Then I take my 32 and I add the number that's on top. So 32 plus 3 gives me 35. And then I keep the denominator, which is 8. Let's try it again. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 plus 2 gives me 23. And I keep the denominator, which is 3. All right, guys, last one. 5 times 10 is 50. 50 plus 7 equals 57. We keep the denominator. So this would be 57 tenths. Pause now to type your answers into your digital math notebook. All right, guys, it's time for the lesson activity. On the first row, you can see we have improper fractions that we're going to make into mixed numbers. And on the second row, we have mixed numbers we're going to make into improper fractions. Let's start on the top. We are going to divide 20 by 3. 3 goes into 20 6 times, which is 18, and I'm left over with 2. So remember, our whole number is 6. Then we have 2 leftover pieces out of 3. So that would be 6 2 thirds. 66 divided by 10 would be 6, and that's 60, which leaves us left over with 6. So this would be 6 6 tenths. And our last one, 31 divided by 7 would be 4, which is 28. We subtract 28, 29, 30, 31 is 3. So that means that our whole number is 4 3/8. out of 7. On the bottom, we're doing the opposite. So we're multiplying times the bottom and add to the top. 9 times 4 gives me 36 plus 3 gives me 39 out of 4. Multiply times the bottom. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 1 is 41 out of 8. All right, I'm going to stop here, and you're going to solve this last problem on your own and type your answer into your digital math notebook. You're almost finished, 5th graders. When your notes are complete, then complete your exit slip to show your understanding and be ready to meet your teacher. Great job!